Okay, pag-usapan natin ngayon kung paano natin kukunin yung limit ng ating logarithmic function. So, ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng logarithmic function? That is the inverse of exponential function. Paano siya naging inverse ng ating exponential function? So, tingnan natin sa equation ng dalawa. This is the equation of your exponential form. That is y is equal to b raised to x, na kung saan b here is our base and x is the exponent. And the logarithmic form naman of our equation is y is equal to log of x to the base b. Okay, so again, exponential function is the inverse of your logarithmic function. And we have the following limits of your logarithmic function. So we have theorems under ng logarithmic function. So for all real numbers c, y is equal to log of x to the base b. Limit of your logarithmic function as x approaches c is equal to log of c to the base b. Second theorem, if b is greater than 1, ibig sabihin, yung b natin is greater than 1. Okay? Mas mataas siya sa 1. Then, limit of your logarithmic function as x approaches to infinity is equal to positive infinity. And the limit of your logarithmic function as x approaches 0 positive is equal to negative infinity. And then we have the third theorem. If b is greater than 0 but less than 1, then limit of your function as x approaches a positive infinity is equal to negative infinity, and limit of your function as x approaches 0 positive is equal to positive infinity. Now, bago tayo dumako sa limit ng logarithmic function, alamin muna natin yung mga logarithmic laws. This is just a recapitulation. So ano yung mga laws governing your logarithmic? So if a, b, c is greater than 0, b is not equal to 1, and r is any real number, then first law, that is product property, log of ac to the base of b is also the same as log of a to the base b plus log of c to the base b. Pinaghihiwalay lang po. That is product property. Second law is known as the quotient property. We have log of a over c to the base b is also the same as log of a to the base b minus log of c to the base b. And the third law is the power property. That is log of a to the rth power to the base b is equal to r times the log of a to the base b. So itong tatlong law ang kakailangan natin to find the limit of your logarithmic function. Let's see for example. Find the limit of log of x to the base of 1/2 as x approaches positive infinity, and log of the same function as x approaches 0 positive by setting up a table of values and sketch the graph of the function. So kukunin natin yung limit ng function natin na kung saan yung x natin papunta sa positive infinity, and the other one, x approaches to 0 positive. So, kunin muna natin yung log of x to the base of 1/2 as x approaches to positive infinity. Table of values. So, here nagset lang din ako ng mga value ng x starting from 1 until positive infinity. So, here, gumamit ako ng 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 21, 64, 128, and 256. Again, our x here approaches to positive infinity. Para naman makuha yung f of x, we need to substitute the value of your x to your, this is your function. Okay? So if x is 1, that means your f of x is log of 1 to the base of 1/2. Then, the calculator gives you 0, and that is the value of your f of x. Ganun din yung cases ni negative 1. Okay? If x is equal to 2, then f of x is negative 1, so on and so forth. Now, we will proceed to the limit of your function as x approaches 0 positive naman. So here, we're looking for the value of x from the right of your 0, which is sufficiently close to 0. Using table of values, itong mga value nito pinakamalapit sa 0 ay uses fractions. So, we have values of x, 1 over 1024, 1 over 512, 1 over 256, so on, until 1/4. So these are values of x from the right of 0. Para makuha yung value ng f of x, ganun pa rin yung cases natin. Lahat ng x, papalitan mo lang po sa ating function. If x is equal to 1 over 1024, then f of x is equal to log of 1 over 1024 to the base 1/2. That is 10. Ganun din yung case ni 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Then we will analyze the table. So anong napapansin natin sa first table? As our x approaches to positive infinity, yung value ng f of x natin approaches to what? Approaches to negative infinity. Thus, the limit of your function as x approaches positive infinity is equal to negative infinity. Yung next table naman natin, as x approaches to 0 naman, anong nangyayari sa f of x natin? So, limit becomes positive infinity from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. Thus, limit of your function as x approaches 0 positive is equal to positive infinity. And this is the graph of your log of x to the base 1/2. Let's say, for example, evaluate the limit of logarithm log of x to the base 2 as x approaches to 32. Kung ganito yung mga cases natin, that merong value for your c, direct substitution yung gagamitin natin. So by direct substitution, lahat ng x magiging 32. Thus, log of 35 to the base 2 is equal to 5. And 5 is the answer for this limit of this function as x approaches 32. Another one, we have log of 2x to the base 3 as x approaches to 1/6. Again, by direct substitution, lahat ng x magiging 1 over 6. Okay? 2 times 1 over 6 is also the same as 1/3. Kaya naging 1/3 to. And then using calculator, log of 1/3 to the base 3 is equal to -1. Hence, limit of this function as x approaches 1/6 is equal to -1. How about if our x approaches to positive infinity naman? Let's say, for example, we need to find the limit of your function 9x cubed to the base 1/3 as x approaches positive infinity. So dito, we cannot go with direct substitution. So yung gagawin natin dito, we will apply your logarithmic laws. So sulat muna natin yung log natin, log of 9x cubed to the base of 1/3. Hihiwalayin natin yung 9 at saka yung x cubed. And that becomes log of 9 to the base 1/3 plus log of x cubed to the base 1/3. This is product property. Okay, kung hihiwalayin natin to, since this is product, magiging sum na po tayo ng dalawang log natin. That is, again, log of 9x cubed to the base 1/3 is also the same as the log of 9 to the base of 1/3 plus the log of x cubed to the base of 1/3. Then using calculator, log of 9 to the base of 1/3 is equal to -2. And then copy natin ito. Okay, so yung x cubed na to, we will apply the third law ng logarithmic, which is the power property, na kung saan yung power na to is mapupunta sa harap ni log. That becomes 3 times the log of x to the base of 1/3. Then dito na tayo papasok sa substitution. Lahat ng x magiging infinity na. So copy yung -2. Then we have plus 3 log of x to the base of 1/3. So yung limit of -2 as x approaches to infinity is equal to -2. Right? Kasi nga this is constant. And we all know by constant rule, the limit of a constant function is a constant itself. So yung sagot dito sa limit of negative 2 is negative 2. So ano naman yung magiging sagot nito sa log of x to the base of 1/3? Babalikan natin yung mga theorem natin. We have two conditions. Kung yung base po natin is greater than 1, then ito yung gagamitin natin. If our base is greater than 0 but less than 1, ito naman yung gagamitin natin. Tingnan natin yung given natin, log of x to the base of 1/3. What is our base here? Your base is 1/3. Is 1/3 ba greater than 1 or greater than 0? 1/3 is greater than 0, but less than 1 siya. So, ito yung kakailangan na natin. Yung next natin gagawin is titingnan kung saan papunta yung x natin. X approaches positive infinity. So, saan si positive infinity? Ito. And the limit is negative infinity. So, that means the limit of this function is negative infinity. So, copy lang ulit natin yung negative 2. Ganun din yung 3 kasi constant siya. Then the limit of this is negative infinity. And then we will simplify. Negative 2 plus 3 times negative infinity results to negative infinity. Hence, limit of your function as x approaches to positive infinity is equal to negative infinity. Another example. How about if our x approaches to 0 positive naman? We have here ln for x. Take note that the function log of x to the base e here is a natural number, is also the same as f of x is equal to ln of x, or that is inverse of x. Pareho lang sila. So, paano natin kukunin yung limit nito? We will expand the limit, the inverse of 4x. Hihiwalayin natin yung 4 at saka yung x. That becomes limit of inverse 4 plus inverse of x as x approaches 0 positive. This is constant. Okay, ito na lang yung kukunin natin, the inverse of x. So again, if b is greater than 1, ito yung gagamitin. If b is greater than 0 but less than 1, ito naman yung gagamitin natin. So ulitin na natin that this is constant, meron siyang value. So ito yung kukunin natin. What is our base here? Balikan natin again yung form ng ln x. This is your ln x, which is also the same as the log of x to the base e. So yung base nito is equal to e, and e has an estimated value of 2.71. So yung 2.71 ba greater than 1 or greater than 0? That is greater than 1. 2.71 is greater than 1. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin para ma-solve yung limit neto. Titingnan natin kung saan papunta yung x. X approaches to 0 positive. So between the two limit na meron tayo, nasaan si x approaches 0 positive? Ito. And the limit is negative 8. Therefore, the value of this function becomes negative 8. So we have inverse of 4 plus negative 8. And the answer is simply negative 8. Hence, limit of your function as x approaches 0 positive is equal to negative infinity. Another example. We will evaluate the inverse of 5x squared as x approaches to 0 positive. So, ulitin na natin na yung 5x squared, pwede pa nating maihiwalayan para makakuha tayo ng constant. Then we will work out on the inverse of your variable. Limit of your function becomes limit of inverse 5 plus the inverse of x squared as x approaches to 0 positive. Dito, mag-apply tayo ng power rule. So, yung 2 na to as your power, mapupunta siya sa harap ni inverse. That becomes 2 times the inverse of x. Okay? Then we all know that inverse of x is equal to negative infinity since our x approaches to 0 positive. Since yung b natin here is 2.71, which is greater than your 1. Therefore, the sum is negative infinity. Hence, limit of your function as x approaches 0 positive is equal to negative infinity. And this is the answer. For the final code, the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. Let's see you.